This is the Voice of Turkey's English language transmission, broadcasting from Ankara in the 49-meter band between 1930 and 2030 UTC on 6050 kHz to Europe, between 2130 and 2230 UTC in the 31-meter band on 9610 kHz to South Asia and Australia, between 2300 and 0000 UTC in the 49-meter band and on 5960 kHz to Europe, Eastern USA and Canada, and in the 31-meter band on 9660 kHz between 1730 and 1830 UTC to Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. The Voice of Turkey is also beamed between 0400 and 0500 UTC in the 49-meter band and on 6125 kHz to Europe, the USA, Eastern Canada and Cuba, between 0400 and 0500 UTC in the 41-meter band on 7240 kHz to Iraq, Syria, Iran and the Arabian Peninsula. You can listen to us over the Turksat 3A and 4A satellites and on the internet at www.trt.net.pr through the Voice of Turkey link. Please note that transmissions broadcast between 2300 and 0000 UTC and between 0400 and 0500 UTC have been pre-recorded. Our email address is englishdesk@trt.net.pr.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. This is Halil İbrahim Sarıkaya from Voice of Turkey. Today, 4th of November 2020, you are listening to the news. Turkey's search and rescue efforts completed after quake. All search and rescue efforts were declared complete on Wednesday in the western Izmir province after the earthquake shook Turkey's Aegean region last week, authorities announced. On Twitter, Mehmet Güloğlu, the head of Disaster and Emergency Management Authority, shortly AFAD, thanked the disaster workers and volunteers who served in the search and rescue efforts in the quake-hit city. On Friday, a magnitude 6.6 quake rattled Izmir, Turkey's third largest city and home to more than 4.3 million people. Speaking at a news conference, Environment and Urbanization Minister Murat Kurum said, work to remove debris has started, with teams continuing search and rescue efforts only at one site. He urged people to have their buildings inspected for quake resistance. We will make on-site applications at debris of 17 buildings and surrounding buildings seeking risky, Kurum said, adding that the new residence buildings to be built will be 5-story at most. The total amount of financial aid government has provided for quake victims for moving and rent has reached 2.86 million Turkish liras, some $337,000 so far, he added. With 2,000 buildings inspected to assess the extent of damage, 180 have been found severely damaged and destroyed, the ministry added. In the wake of the earthquake, public guest houses across the city are available to host victims, with a capacity of almost 7,600 people, from adding that 208 people were currently being hosted there. The death toll from the last week's powerful earthquake has risen to 114, authorities said early on Wednesday. Trump declares premature victory as vote counts ongoing. US President Donald Trump prematurely declared victory against Democratic nominee Joe Biden early Wednesday morning as a result have yet to be called in several pivotal battleground states. You just look at all these states that we have won tonight, and you take a look at the kind of margins that we have won them by, Trump told supporters at the White House. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election, frankly. We did win this election. Several races have yet to be called, including the key states of Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Alaska is too early to be called, but it and its 3 electoral votes are likely to go to President. Trump is currently trailing Biden 225-213 as the candidate seeks to acquire at least 270 electoral college delegates. Azerbaijani forces inflict more losses on Armenian army. Armenia's army continues to suffer losses amid its attacks on Azerbaijani soldiers and civilian areas despite a ceasefire, Baku's defense minister said Wednesday. During the day of November 3rd and the night of November 4th, the Armenian armed forces fired at positions of the units of Azerbaijani army in different directions of the front and our human settlements with various small arms, howitzers and mortars, the minister said in a statement. The combat operation continued in varying intensity, mainly in the Tartar, Aldam, Kocaeli, and Gubadli directions of the front with added. Armenian forces were forced to retreat with casualties in personnel and military vehicles in some areas of the front, the statement said. During the day and the night time, a large number of enemy 2 T-72 tanks, 3 D-30 howitzer guns, 1 Zastava M55 anti-aircraft gun, 1 tactical UAV, 3 military trucks were destroyed and wrecked, it added. Russia reports record daily virus cases deaths. Russia on Wednesday reported a new single-day record of 19,768 coronavirus cases and 389 deaths. According to the country's emergency task force, the total number of cases in the country has reached 1.69 million, while the deaths are approximately 9,470. Meanwhile, recoveries rose by 15,567 to reach 1.26 million over the last 24 hours. Russia, on October 28, introduced new measures containing COVID-19 infections, making mandatory the use of face masks in public areas, public transport and elevators. Cafes, bars and restaurants must close from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. local time across the country, except in the capital Moscow. Libya, 12 articles agreed on over permanent ceasefire. 12 articles of agreement were reached Wednesday in the meetings of the 5+5 Joint Military Commission on the implementation of a permanent ceasefire in Libya. The military committee meetings in the town of Ghadames in the southwest ended and agreed on concrete steps to be taken to implement a permanent ceasefire agreement, according to statements from the UN Libya Support Mission. A military subcommittee was created to oversee the return of military forces to their headquarters and the withdrawal of foreign elements from military lines. According to the subcommittee, which decided to have its headquarters in Sirte, will hold its first meeting in the near future in Sirte with the participation of 5+5 Committee and UNSMIL. Also, the 5+5 Committee agreed to meet in Sirte as soon as possible later this month, and the committee's headquarters will be Ogu Dagon Convention Center in the city. Turkey reports over 2,300 new coronavirus cases. Turkey registered 203 more known coronavirus cases over the past 8 hours, according to Health Ministry this Tuesday. Turkey has now stepped at 302,118, the ministry said. Some 1,870 more patients recovered over the past day, raising the tally to 328,874, while the death toll rose by 79 to reach 10,481. A total of 146,247 more COVID-19 tests were carried out across the country, bringing the total to over 14.4 million. The figures show that the number of patients in critical condition currently stands at 2,386, with 4.7% this week suffering. Across the world, COVID-19 has claimed more than 1.2 million lives in 190 countries and regions since last December. The US, India and Brazil are currently worst hit countries. Over 47,037 million cases have been reported worldwide, with recoveries exceeding 31.44 million according to figures compiled by the US Johns Hopkins University. And that was the news brought to you by the Voice of Turkey. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. The Voice of Turkey presents the foreign press. El-Quds El-Arabi. Malawi Republic, one of the African countries, is announcing that it plans to open an embassy in Jerusalem. El-Quds El-Arabi. After the attacks in England, France and Austria increased its warning level against terrorism. Le Figaro, France. Regarding Khartoum, Quebec province criticized Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for his support after his phone call to French President Emmanuel Macron. France 24. The French government had to review the 2020 budget to deal with the quarantine. Le Monde, France. French Prime Minister Jean Castex is far from President Emmanuel Macron's stance on his colonial past. Whilst the two martial arts masters of Turkish origin saved the life of a wounded policeman during the terrorist attack in Vienna. Frankfurter Allgemeine. The new restrictions in Germany dealt a heavy blow to economic development, but not all sectors will be affected in the same way. Le Vanguardia, Spain. The second coronavirus wave in Spain has already captured elderly population. El Mundo, Spain. U.S. elections. Donald Trump has an advantage. Major info by Argentine. The government of Chile softened its curfew rules and called on the public to protect itself to avoid a second wave of coronavirus. Gazetem RU. Russian for Sergei Lavrov. We will working with Turkey on Karabakh issue. TASS news agency. The Tu-160M bomber equipped with the new engines made its first flight. And that was the foreign press brought to you by the Voice of Turkey.
This is the Voice of Turkey. They're bringing Turkey's voice to the whole world.